Hello, this is Bill Steffen. Sizzling sandcastles. We got a bona fide heat wave on the way for West Michigan and much of the Great Lakes and Northeast. Temperatures are going to be soaring up into the low to mid 90s here, and heat index could reach as high as 105 in parts of West Michigan. Let's take a look at all the advisories that are in effect across the area, and we have a number of them to talk about here. First of all, we have a heat advisory in effect for West Michigan, and the heat advisory is for Saturday and for Sunday. The heat's for temperatures in the low to mid 90s. It will be about 10 degrees cooler, a good 10 degrees cooler if you're going to be over by Lake Michigan. And the heat is going to continue here Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and on Tuesday. Now, we also have a beach advisory hazard for us as well. This is for Saturday and Sunday. And I highlighted it in red here. Do not jump off the south side of the piers. This is going to be a very dangerous day for that. What happens is you get a strong south wind and it pushes the water toward the pier, and it has no place to go. The water can't go up. It can't go down underneath it because it's a solid pier. It's not a pier like they have in Florida or California where the water can flow underneath it. This is what's called a break wall or a breakwater. And what happens is the water can't go up on the beach. All it can do is hit the pier and then move off toward the side, heading out toward the mid part of the lake. So it develops what is a fairly strong current, and it can take even the strongest swimmer and shove him out toward the middle of the lake, toward the end of the channel there. So again, I really want to emphasize, do not jump off the piers, especially the south sides of the piers. And I'm talking especially for Grand Haven State Park and Muskegon Pier Marquette Park. Those are places where you just can't jump off the piers here on a day like tomorrow. We also have small craft advisories in effect. Waves are going to be 2 to 8 feet. And why do we have a range that high? Well, the waves will be about 2 feet, 1 to 2 feet down toward Berrien County, where the wind doesn't cross a lot of water. But as it continues up north toward Ludington and northward, especially out over the open water there, you're going to see those waves build to 4 to 8 feet here during the afternoon. So that should be a concern. Also, we have an air quality alert for the Lakeshore counties plus Kent and Cass counties. And this is not for particulate matter from Canada, not with a south wind that gusting to 30 miles an hour. What it's going to do is it's going to increase ozone levels. So again, minimize your use of gasoline engines. If you have to walk, or ride a bicycle, and try and stay somewhere that's indoors where you got some air conditioning. This would be a good time to head out to a movie or maybe to a restaurant that's air conditioned where you can spend some time. We also have one more thing to talk about in terms of advisories, and that is severe weather. We've been tracking overnight a line of very heavy thunderstorms that's been moving through North Dakota. That line has produced wind gusts over 90 miles an hour and hail up to the size of baseballs. And that line has been trucking through North Dakota, then into Minnesota. Now, this map you see right here starts at 8 a.m. in the morning. So from 8 a.m. through the day, those thunderstorms will be tracking through upper Michigan, through northern lower Michigan, and into western New York State and Ontario, a good portion of Ontario as well. This is going to create very high winds on the south side of Lake Superior, heading into that area north of Sault Ste. Marie, around between Sault Ste. Marie and Wawa, Ontario. Again, this map is from the Storm Prediction Center. The slight risk is a level 2. Overnight, there's actually been a level 4 threat of severe thunderstorm winds across North Dakota and Minnesota. So we expect the storms to weaken just a little bit as they come through the state of Michigan. Now, we have a marginal risk on those storms northeast of Grand Rapids, actually north of a line from, about I-90, probably north of I-96 is a good way to describe it, Muskegon to around the Detroit area. So we will certainly be tracking this through the morning. I'll probably put out some tweets and some messages on Facebook. If you'd like to follow me at my Facebook fan site, I put a lot of information up there as well. But these are what we call ring of fire thunderstorms that are on the north edge of a dome of high pressure here during the summer, and they can produce some pretty strong winds. Hopefully we won't see much of that here in West Michigan, but we'll certainly be tracking it. Taking a look at the severe weather outlook area for Sunday from Nebraska all the way up into Minnesota and northwest Wisconsin. That area is going to get hit with another round of severe thunderstorms with potential wind damage. And kind of interesting, those areas across central Minnesota into the western upper peninsula of Michigan are going to see 2 severe thunderstorms. They're going to see one here during the early morning slide through, and then another one Sunday afternoon. So a pretty interesting weekend for the folks up there, plus the heat to deal with. In terms of rainfall, one thing that's kind of interesting on the rainfall map, look at the yellow that's across Minnesota and upper Michigan. You can see where the severe thunderstorms are tracking, and then the next batch getting organized up there in Montana. They actually have winter storm warnings out for Montana for Glacier National Park, where they're anticipating. Now, I just took the Going to the Sun Highway last summer. We took that on a bus tour. And boy, I tell you, they're expecting 6 to 14 inches of snow. Now, that road is dangerous, I think, on dry pavement. I can't imagine what it would be like taking that ride when there's snow on the ground. I'm sure they would have it blocked off for an event like that. Now, let's zoom into Michigan here. And I want to show you that southwest of Grand Rapids, it probably won't rain at all. But if you go north of Grand Rapids, you can see how you get into the darker green right there, where there could be as much as half an inch or more of rain with the storms here Saturday morning. And we'll certainly keep an eye on things, like I said, but the farther north you are, the better the chance for seeing a little bit of rain here during the early morning to midday. Okay, we're going to take time out now and thank our sponsors, starting with Clean Air Concierge.
Need a fast, efficient, and affordable cleaning service? Complete Care Concierge has you covered. Serving all of West Michigan, we offer one-time, daily, weekly, and bi-weekly cleans, plus move in, move out. We also service apartment hallways and laundry rooms. Our work is guaranteed, gift cards are available, and we even clean on weekends. There's no better way to say I love you than giving a tired mom a break from dishes and laundry. Are you a busy professional? Pamper yourself by taking vacuuming and dusting off your plate. Office manager? Keep your business looking and feeling its very best. Call 616-264-1397 today for a spotless space and total peace of mind.
When your home needs help, you might not know where to start. Why not ask Ace? We're always here to help with Ace Handyman Services. Our talented craftsmen handle everything from drywall and carpentry to doors and kitchens. We're the neighbors you trust to get the job done right. Let's get started. Book your handyman appointment today. Ace Handyman Services, bringing helpful to your home.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
And we certainly like to thank Complete Care Concierge and Ace Handyman Services for being our sponsor here through the spring and into the early part of the summer. Here's a look at summer solstice. Today is the first full day of astronomical summer. That came in Friday evening at 10:42. Get this, we lose 1 second of daylight today as opposed to yesterday. 1 second. But it will still be a very bright day. And of course, this time of year, you get a lot of twilight as well to enjoy. Sunrise time 6:03, sunset at 9:24, giving Grand Rapids 15 hours and 21 minutes of daylight. And you can see how the Earth goes around the sun here. It's is tilted at the angle of 23.5 degrees. The sun directly overhead this time of year along a line called the Tropic of Cancer, which is down between Florida and Cuba. Okay, let's go back talking about the weather here. The next tropical storm in the Eastern Pacific, the orange color there indicates about a 40 or 50% chance of that developing, so it's not a sure thing. But the next storm that does develop in the Eastern Pacific Ocean area will be called Flossie. And I think I have one too many S's in there, but we'll go with that. There is no activity in the Atlantic, and probably all the way through the end of June, there will not be a tropical storm in the Atlantic Ocean. So that's certainly some good news there. And there's really nothing much going on right now in the Western Pacific Ocean, which is usually pretty active from June right on through the summer and into the fall. So some good news, not a lot of tropical storms affecting the area. Though again, we did have damage reported there along that west coast of Mexico between Acapulco and Puerto Escondido, I think it is, down in that area. It's hit a fairly sparsely populated area with the last one that came in. That was Delilah. All right, it was Eric, and the one before that was Delilah. All right, let's go on here. Heat wave today through Tuesday. That's our weather headline. Temperatures low to mid 90s. The heat index up between 95 and 105. A little bit less than that at the lake. Windy today. Some gusts to 25 to 30 miles an hour. So let's move on and take a look now at the lake forecast. This is, again, pretty important. Big waves today I got down at the bottom. There's a look at your water temperatures. Inland lakes up and around the mid 70s right now. And I would suspect water temperatures are going to head up in the inland lakes to 80 or even better here by the time we hit the middle of next week. Waves today, again, as I mentioned, 2 to 8 inches, lower down toward Berrien County, higher up toward Ludington. South to southwest winds 15 to 30 knots. And taking a look at what we expect here for the day today, we're expecting temperatures up into the low 90s in inland areas, 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm in the morning. But again, that is higher up toward Mount Pleasant, lower down toward Benton Harbor. Humidity 55% this afternoon, south winds gusting to 30 miles an hour at times. We'll look at some specific high temperatures here for the date. This map shows a high of 93 for Grand Rapids. 82 for South Haven. That's if the lake breeze can penetrate as far in as the city there. It won't be too far east of South Haven where it'll be in the low 90s. And as you can see, even the Ludington Airport can reach 85. Even out over the open water, temperatures are in the 70s there out over Lake Michigan. And if you look on the right, you can see the map of upper Michigan's temperatures. Even after the thunderstorm rolls on through, Iron River gets to 90. A little bit cooler over toward Sault Ste. Marie, over toward Munising, and Grand Marais be a place to cool off a little bit. And the outlook here for Sunday calls for temperatures even warmer, 95 for Grand Rapids, and the cat does not like that, as you can hear. We'll keep the air conditioning on here, Kitty, though I think I'll set the thermostat at about 76, 78 or so. Look at over on the right side. This is temperatures for Sunday afternoon, 90 for Marquette. Temperature 91 at Newberry with a pretty good south wind. It should be just as warm at the shoreline. Boy, what's the commotion over there? Wow, I have to look at that in a minute here. All right, let's go on here and take a look at the 5-day forecast. Slight chance of a shower or thunderstorm this morning for Grand Rapids. Better chance to the north. Less chance to the southwest, pretty much full sunshine and really hot for Sunday and Monday. We have one product that gives us high temperatures in the upper 90s, and that would really be warm. Tuesday, 91, 30% chance of a shower or thunderstorm. That's still only about 1 in 3. And then a 50% chance here during the day on Wednesday. Taking a look at the long-range outlook, then this is probably right. Much of the country is seeing above average temperatures, though not by much here in Grand Rapids. Average temperatures low 80s. I think toward the end of next week, we'll probably be in the mid-80s most days. Clouds and showers keeping the temperatures down in New Mexico, but you can see a lot of the country is going to be hot, including much of the southeastern U.S. In terms of rainfall, again, a lot of thunderstorms out there, and in a sense, that's good news, keeping the crops watered here. They're certainly going to be growing with the heat and the humidity that we have around here. The only below normal area expected is out in Nevada and Utah, where they don't grow much. They grow salt in Salt Lake City, and that's about it. All right, let's see what I think we have one more here. I just want to remind you again about the heat wave and try and find a way to stay cool. Check on your neighbors if you can, or any relatives that might not be close to a fan or some air conditioning. Make sure they're staying hydrated. Drink some water on these days here. And again, not quite as hot at the Lake Michigan beaches, so that would be a place to cool off just a bit. Now let's see what Michelle has for us. She is working at the airport. Weather records in Grand Rapids, 98, the record high temperature in 1988. Remember the drought we had in May and June in 1988? We hit 98 in June. We had one day that reached 100 degrees, July, I think it was maybe the 7th, 1988. And that was the first 100 degrees that Grand Rapids has seen since 1964. We went quite a stretch there without reaching 100. And then, of course, we had the big heat wave in 2012 when temperatures hit at least 104. Warmest temperature ever in Grand Rapids was 108. That was in July of it was 36. It was also hot in 34. Lowest temperature ever recorded on this date, June 21, was 39 in 1940. It has never officially snowed on this date. We have had hail before, so we've had frozen precipitation. The average high temperature is 80.6 or 81. More information here about June 21st. First Ferris wheel debuted in Chicago. That was at the World's Columbian Exposition, and that was right along the lakeshore. It's interesting, that picture there. It almost looks like there's snow on the ground. I wonder what time maybe they were still working on it. I don't know, but that was pretty amazing. The first Ferris wheel debuted in Chicago, 1893, and it looks pretty high. I mean, for 1893, I'm sure it was. All right, next slide. We got more information here about Ferris wheels. The first Ferris wheel was 264 feet high. Today, the tallest Ferris wheel is in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, UAE. It is, wow, look at that. I am shocked to see 820 feet tall. You know, that's more than twice as tall as the tallest building in Grand Rapids. Can you believe that? There's a Ferris wheel that's 820 feet tall. I'm blown away by that. I think if I'm not mistaken, River House in Grand Rapids is 406 feet. So that would make this Ferris wheel here twice that tall, or even a little bit more than that. That's pretty amazing. Wow. All right, next slide. The U.S. Constitution became official. We the people, in order to form a more perfect union, whatever, June 21, 1788 is when that was approved. And it's held up well over the years. All right, next slide that we have here for you, June 21, 2006. Nix and Hydra were the names given to the moons of this former planet. Well, since the category of former planets is not very big, I'll have to guess that this was Pluto, because that's about the only former planet I know of. It's a long ways away. Most of the time, it's the farthest, well, it's not a planet anymore. I can't say the farthest planet. I can say that most of the time, it's farther away than the orbit of Neptune, but there are times when it actually comes inside the orbit of Neptune. Cold place, that's for sure. The almost planet. Sorry about that, Pluto. Had to take your crown away. Interesting. Okay, next. Well, this is interesting. June 21, 1948, the first Bill Knapp's opened. Founded by Clinton B. Knapp. Operated in 5 states, 60 locations at one time. Known for its birthday discounts and anniversary cakes. And we went there on birthdays. And chocolate cakes were famous. We always got a chocolate cake to take home. Closed in 2002, it operated 29 restaurants when it filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. A company bought the right to the dessert recipes and the name rights. But that's a really interesting. We spent, golly, I bet you I went to Bill Knapp's 15 times maybe while it was open here, at least. Took the kids there. We enjoyed it and enjoyed the chocolate cake that we got at Bill Knapp's. Okay, next, what do we have here? How many Russ's restaurants are there currently? Oh, there is one very close to my house at Alpine and 4 Mile Road, and we go there on occasion to get a pie. We get probably half a dozen to a dozen pies there every year. They have rolls, they have pastries, they have big booths too, so you got room to kind of spread out there. Well, I guess, I don't know, 9. How about 9? I know they're in Grand Haven and Holland, and we get 12. I guess I wasn't too far off here. A number of them in Grand Rapids. I believe there's one on Plainfield. There's one in Granville, I believe. Yeah, we got that down there. So, yeah, we salute Russ's Restaurants. You get a little bit of everything there. Have eaten there probably twice this year, maybe. Twice, yeah, once in Holland and once in Grand Rapids. Okay, today a Russ's hot hamburger is $10.50. What did a Russ's deluxe hamburger cost in 1964? 1960. I know when McDonald's first started out, their burger was just 15 cents, but a Russ's hot hamburger is classier than what they served at McDonald's. I'll guess $1.50. How about that? How cool? 35 cents is all. Ooh. You know what they ought to do? They ought to have a promotion day or something like that, where you come in for an hour or something like that, and you can get a 35-cent burger or something like that. That's probably too expensive to get away with. But they used to have, and they don't do so much of that anymore. I remember they used to have dime hot dogs at the Whitecaps. I don't think they're doing that anymore. It's just too expensive to do. Russ's was founded in 1934 by J. Russell Bowes, I guess you pronounce that. And boy, I tell you, I'm sure the business grew if he could sell and make a profit at 35 cents for a deluxe burger. Yum, yum. Salute to Russ's Restaurants. I think I'm going to go down and celebrate by getting a pie. The Rainbow Grill in Granville, and that's a famous restaurant, opened in 1946, owned by the Zondervan family. I did not know that. From 1954 to 2023, just a couple of years ago. The Rainbow Grill is still going strong. The Choo Choo Grill, which is over on Leonard Street, right by the railroad track. Well, why not? If it's the Choo Choo Grill, opened in 1946. It is owned by Rick and Darcy Mack. And of course, it has a railroad theme. I have not been there in the longest time, so I will have to make a point of going to the Choo Choo Grill soon, having myself a burger. Interesting information about the grills here in Grand Rapids from Michelle, my daughter, working at the airport tonight. And up next, what do we have? Question of the day: what is your favorite local diner? Tell us in the comments below. So if you have a favorite diner, write that down in the comments below and see how many local favorite diners we can manage here. Pretty interesting. All right, Sault Ste. Marie, the canal opened up June 21, 1895. So that's been going on for 5 and 125. That would be 130 years. The largest lock in the world at the time it was built. The first lock to use electric power. You know, there were most homes did not have electricity in 1895. It allows ships to bypass the rapids of the St. Mary's River. And as the water from the St. Mary's River moves from Lake Superior down into Lake Huron and Lake Michigan are at the same water level. Technically, it's the biggest lake in the world. But what happens is that the water flows between the two lakes under the Mackinac Bridge. So, like I said, technically it is, if you count it's 5 miles across there, it would technically be the biggest lake in the entire world. So a salute to the Sault Ste. Marie Canal. The canal opened on this date in 1895. And what else do we have here? I think we have one more slide to share with everybody here. And I think we have a pretty picture from up north to share with everybody. If we can move along here and take a look at that. One more on the... Let's go through here. How many ships pass through the Sault Ste. Marie Canal each year? The answer flashed by, but I did not see it. Okay, I have a calculator here. How many would you guess per day? If you guess, let's see, 40 ships per day times, let's see, 5 days, 7 days a week. Times, what would that be? I don't know, 200 days a year, maybe? What are we up to? 56,000? No, what's a good guess? Let's guess about 45,000. Let's see what we get here. Oh, no, way too high a guess. 7,000 to 10,000. There is a shipping season from mid-March to mid-January. The locks don't operate in the winter because of ice, and that is true. Now, some winters are different from others. And of course, the Coast Guard icebreakers go up there and try and break up the ice if it's lasting too terribly long. And they do a great job of that. And the Canadian Coast Guard is out there too, by the way. It's not just the U.S. Coast Guard, it's the Canadian Coast Guard as well. Okay, let's see. We have one more picture from John Doherty to share with everybody here. That is the sun shining through a thin layer of clouds. A good portion of the sun's light gets through the clouds, even the thickest cloud cover. Otherwise, it would be pitch black at noon, and it's not pitch black. Even on the darkest, gloomiest day, when there are several layers of clouds, it's still bright outside. It's bright enough to see and everything else like that. So thanks to John for that picture and all the pictures that he sends to us. And I think we're going to wrap things up right now. One thing to remember the heat out there. It can be dangerous. And also remember the the fact that you should not jump off the break walls and the piers here today because of that threat of structural currents there along the piers. So have yourself a great day and stay cool.